Good morning. I hope you had fun last night. Well, the room is empty. So what do? Are we running late? I know that Sean will kill me. You know, we are going to eat some of his policy discussion minutes. But we'll squeeze coffee break. For all those who will come, they will have a stamp and say, no coffee break for you. So do we start? Adiel Aplogan is in a meeting, board meeting. He will join us after for his presentation. So, panelists, do we start? Yes, I'll invite the panelists for the RIR Global Update. So this session offers an update from around the world and especially offers an opportunity to the regional internet registries, the NRO, which will be given by Adiel Aplogan, IANA, which will be given by AVRI, and the ASO by Elise. You see, I was checking if you were listening, and you are. Very good. A big applause for AVRI. And the ASO updates by Alan Barrett. Can you join me? Thank you. There is going to be a remote presenter, George Kwawemole from AFRINIC. Elise is missing too. No coffee break for Elise. So we'll just start, and Elise will join us, and Adiel just after. If the remote presentation is ready, we'll just have the AFRINIC update so that it gives us some time. Remote is ready? DK? Daniel?
Good morning, everyone, to our friends and colleagues in the AFRINIC community. My name is George Guo from AFRINIC, and I'm very pleased to give this update for you from Brisbane. Unfortunately, we're not able to make it to your meeting in Mauritius this time. So in my update this morning, I'd like to talk to you about three things. First would be the activities happening in 2014 on IPv4, IPv6 and ASNAM delegation. And secondly, briefly on our policy development. And lastly, would be what we are doing in terms of supporting the internet community in this region. So we all know that AFRINIC is regional internet registry for the Asia Pacific. We are serving 56 economies with 4,572 members. And we have around 70 staff that speaks 22 languages. So, to start with, what's new in this year for V4, V6 and ASNAM delegations? You can see that we have given out almost over 3,000 delegations IPv6 so far this year. And on the pie chart here, you can see the various different sizes that we've given out. And of course, the majority of them are /22 and the 48. On the right-hand side here, you see a one-click pie chart. This is the IPv6 policy that we have implemented quite a few years back, which allows AFRINIC members to be able to receive IPv6 delegation without going through the usual process of evaluation. And of course, these members would have to have IPv4 address space. On IPv4 delegations, AFRINIC is the first IR to exhaust IPv4 and to implement the final /A policies. And we've been giving out address space from 103, and you can see the activities this year so far. You can also see that from May this year, we started to give out IP address block that from IANA, which is return IP address space pool. And we have been busy since May, and you can see our workload almost triple the usual amount. And you can see on the first pie chart there, it shows the ratio of the delegation coming out from 103 and the IANA return pools. An IPv4 transfer, we also been doing transfer for quite a few years now. And this year you can see the number of transfer requests that we received sitting between 10 and 20. And we also are doing inter-area transfer with the AFRINIC community. Two other services that we provide to support the transfer activities, the pre-approval and the listing service. So what the pre-approval means is allow our member to have their IPv4 needs to be assessed and approved before they can find a source of transfer. And the listing services allow them to provide, to have their needs, approved needs to be published on the website, AFRINIC's website, to allow people who have access IPv4 to be able to contact them via AFRINIC Secretariat. Lastly, on the AS number assignments, it's a good sign to see that we're giving out a lot more 4-byte AS number. We do have a policy that allows those who really can't use 4-byte to exchange, and as you can see, the ratio is pretty low from the middle pie chart there. Now, all these resource delegation cannot be given up without a good policy implementation. So this year, we do have quite a similar policy development process to AFRINIC community. And we know that it starts with the need to propose and going through various stages of discussion, face-to-face or on a mailing list, and comes to the stage of gauging consensus, because without consensus, the proposal cannot move ahead to be implemented. And the consensus is always a great area of interest from our community. So recently we have introduced a pilot project, which is a tool called Comfort. It really is for community feedback in real time, and allow participants to give their feedback on discussion of a particular policy proposal. And hopefully these tools will be able to allow the policy SIG chair to also assess what are the feedback for a particular policy proposal. So if you're interested, I encourage you to take a look from our website for more information on Comfort. So this year we have implemented the 3 AFRINIC policies. The first one is the AS number transfer along, so this would work well with other transfer policies such as IPv4. We also have, through a policy implementation, delegated a couple of IPv4 range for AFRINIC-led research. And as I mentioned earlier, in May, we started giving out IANA return address pool to be able to give out more IPv4 to AFRINIC's members. So that policy was implemented back in late June. And there was a discussion of the proposal on IPv6 address space, which was subsequently abandoned. So if you are interested in any of these policies, feel free to take a look from our website. The last one would be the activities in 2014, how we work to support the internet community in this region. And these can be achieved without collaborating with the internet community closely. So the first one, lab.afrinic.net, the lab project that's been on for quite a few years by Jeff Houston and George Michelson, proved to be a very popular project because we are seeing a lot of statistics and graphs being used in various presentations, and we continue to make improvement of IPv4 and DNS measurement. And all this can be accessible from AFRINIC's website as well. ECIF awards and grants. This is to support the technical innovation in this region, AFRINIC being the administrative center for these grants. And you can see there's a various economies in the region that has benefit from this project. Now this graph shows the various different activities that happened in this year, and we've been quite active and busy. The dots represent the different events or activities happened in various different parts of this region, and I'd like to talk you through on some of highlights of these activities. Now, AFRINIC training is a value very valuable services that we give out to our membership and the community, and our training team provide face-to-face training and also e-learning online. And so far we have, this year we have trained close to 2,000 professionals, and all this material are archived online for anyone who's interested or can benefit from it. Supporting Network Operators Group, AFRINIC really happy to support such forum, because it is an important forum in this region for the operators and the network operators to be able to exchange information, to share the knowledge and how to run the internet better. So we're really pleased to be able to support them, and it's good to see that we have a lot of new NOCs happening in this region, and we expect to see more in the next year. Some highlights for community development. The extension of our training, we also provide technical assistance, and we've done that this year for Bhutan and Laos, Vanuatu, and Tuvalu. And we also signed MOU with the ICANN for deploying root service in this region. And as usual, we provide a fellowship for those who don't usually able to come to attend and participate in AFRINIC events. And in this year, we have also introduced a new youth fellowship program to help the new comers to participate in the internet community in this region. Security outreach, and we all know that security has also been an area of great interest. We have our security expert Ali Wahi and Craig Ng. Both of them have been quite active this year as well in terms of giving training in a couple of areas for law enforcement agency, and we are also participating in NOCs and CERT to exchange information, to learn from each other, and also to provide them information on such as AFRINIC HUI services. Global cooperations, we continue to do IPv6 advocacy. We go out and talk to the community about the importance of IPv6 deployment, and we continue to engage with other areas and on various projects to improve the services of the registry, and of course recent discussion on IANA stewardship transition. So with that, I'll finish my update, and I'd like to invite you to our next conference, which will be happening in Japan in late February. It's in conjunction with the AFRICOT conference as well, so you're encouraged to attend, and if you can make it on site to attend in person, then you can participate remotely, and I do encourage you to do that. And if you'd like to know more about AFRINIC's activities, we also have a blog for you, and so feel free to read through the information. And if you do have any question, unfortunately I can't answer you, so feel free to contact me to let me know if any feedback to the presentation. Please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much. To our friends and colleagues in AFRINIC.
So I guess we won't take any question from the AFRINIC updates, or you're invited to AFRICOT. So we'll continue with the LACNIC update. Andreas?
Hello everyone, my name is Andres Piazza. I'm with LACNIC Public Affairs Officer. Okay, can I believe it was a, okay. Well, we are the Latin American Caribbean RAR. We serve in 32 territories. We were predecessed by 2 NARs that were involved in our formation, and we are now, since this year, over 4,000 members with a 37 staff group, facing this year also the challenge of our CEO, as what AFRINIC is leaving. Our CEO that has been there for 12 years has been gone away, and now the process of the replacement of the CEO is taking place. The growth of the membership has been increased in the last 4 years. The curve, as you can see in this graphic, has been we have increased the rate of membership growth. But as you can see in the second graphic, the members that grew the most are the small and the small members. It has a lot to do with we believe that there is a correlation between the IPv4 exhaustion and the need for small businesses to have availability of addresses. But on the other hand, we have growth a lot, especially in the NAR regions. So despite these 2 NARs are set in the 2 bigger countries of our region, we have a lot of membership in those countries, and this trend is growing. It has also been the case for the small members, which is the second smaller category. Regarding our, this slide was I was trying to replace, but regarding one of the big, I would say the biggest event for the year for us, the IPv4 exhaustion. We reached that phase in May this year, and we are now heading to the phase 2 of the exhaustion process. This means that our IPv4 pool has just 2/11s, 2 blocks of IPv4, and they are specifically reserved, one for the soft landing policy, just so for every member to request. The minimum allocation is /24, and the maximum allocation is /22. And the other block, the other /11, it's reserved for new members, only for new members. So we believe that the trend of growth for new members could at least keep in this rhythm for a couple of years, and then we need to see how the evolution continues. On the side of, well, the status was from, we have, with the information for November this year, we have 3,500,000 something IP addresses. So it's less than a quarter of a /8. In terms of the IP6 deployment, this year has been really intense for us, despite of the normal effort that we do engaging with our community and trying to support and help the depletion of IPv6 in the region. And the results haven't been the greatest in the region, in Latin American region, but the rate is also growing for IPv6 depletion. And despite the engagement we do with governments or with operators and trainings all across the region, we also did a specific set of, we were visiting 10 countries in the first 2 months of 9 countries in the first 2 months of the year, and almost 15 staff members of LACNIC were involved in this special project. And we wanted to raise awareness not only with our members, with our key members, the big operators, but also with governments and other stakeholders. We believe that important results are coming in the depletion of IPv6 in the region, and we are having we will be having more news in next year. Also, the policies of the update. There have been 7 proposals going on in the policy forum. The update at the date is that 3 of the proposals, one has been implemented in the last meeting in Santiago. The LAC, the one that it's dedicated for the management of the returned resources. The other, the one that it's deals with the modification of the text describing the requirements for ASN distribution, has reached consensus, and an update of the PDP is still under discussion. The rest of the 4 proposals have been eliminated. We had a really interesting set of activities in different topics: IPv6 and security, trainings, internet governance, a lot of engagement through the region. There are also many activities outside the region that are not quoted here, but we have been touching base in pretty much all the countries of our region. And I can remember staff members going to every country of the region this year, but this is something that happens also with happened previous years. But we have done a specific meeting for the Caribbean, as this is a trend. We have been doing this for 5 years, despite of our 2 main meetings in Mexico and Santiago de Chile, and also we are big supporters of CaribNOG, a specific project we have in Haiti, and the LAC IGF, where we have the technical secretariat, executive secretariat of that specific internet governance project. Also the FRIDA project for 2014, so as I quoted, the IP for depletion was one of the main issues. Then another big milestone could be the Iron Transition Stewardship process. We are working very hard in our community with that. Yesterday there was a panel, we were referring to that process yesterday. We also had a good step in our department, the External Relations or Public Affairs department, where I work, and we hired 2 people, 2 senior officers, one for Central America and one for the Caribbean. We have been, they are based in Panama and Trinidad and Tobago. These 2 persons are trying to help us to strengthen the relationship with some other sub-regions in the Latin region that are not typically so easy to engage with. So we have been very confident, and we are already seeing some results in that area. And our training activities have been increased also this year. More than 500 engineers attended to 10 workshops in 8 countries, and something that it's important to stand out. We have been co-organizing workshops with telecom regulators, governments in the region, not only with operators or the usual suspect, the usual partners. So this happens also in countries like Venezuela or other countries like are more usually approached by us, like Uruguay or I remember Chile this year. But the case of Venezuela was important to quote. We were co-organizing with them training activities at the regulator offices with all the operators of the country. So it's something that we are, I'm sure we will be exploring this path much more. And the service, the customer services survey, we have we were over 90% of satisfaction in 3rd consecutive year, and this is something that's very important for us. I need to quote also a very recent activity that I forgot to put in this slide, and has been that LACNIC has been chosen by the 3rd year on a row as one of the top companies to work in Uruguay by the Great Place to Work organization. This year we were not in the top positions like the previous ones, but even without 6 months without the CEO, and we also could be one of the top organizations from Uruguay, number 11 this year. We passed the barrier of 4,000 members, as I quoted, and for next year the focus point would be, of course, the core business, maintaining the registry strong and providing services also to members that can be exceeding their expectations, more focusing in providing a service to the rest for adding value to the membership, not only being the registry. The PDP needs to be improved, and as I quoted, the policy processes dealing also with that. And we want to take action in further progress in accountability and transparency. Also, the NRO is working with that, and we have been working with other colleagues from areas with this matter, but this is one of the focus for 2015. Of course, the IPv6 security deployment will continue, the training courses and etc. And this 2015 is one of the years that we have to review, to start the process to review the strategic plan that we have. We do strategic plans 3 years ahead, and this time we have to plan the 2016 and 2018 process. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. Merci.
Thank you, Andreas. Andreas is the public affairs of LACNIC. As you can see, there are some similitude with AFRINIC. They still haven't had their CEO. Raul has left. IPv4 resources, we are the only one who have. So if you have any question for Andreas, maybe we can take the question later, or you can grab him during coffee break. So we'll move next with the CEO of RIPE NCC, Axel Pavlik, to give us the RIPE NCC updates.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Axel. I'm one of the few remaining CEOs. And I must pay you my respects. You all deserve a gold star to be here this early after party night. Well done. So, a quick update from the RIPE NCC. Lots of things are going on. At some point, many, many years ago, we thought, oh, once we run out of IPv4, life will be calm and relaxing. Well, it's not quite so. So lots of things going on. Yes, we do hear from our colleagues that memberships in general are increasing. Same with us. We have just busted the 11,000. And you see a somewhat alarming upturn over the last couple of years in new members. What we think is happening is that some of our old big members tell their customers, well, we can't give you any addresses anymore, go directly to the RIPE NCC, become a member there, and that's what they do. Great for us, it's a lovely trend. I don't know how long it will be sustainable over the next coming years, but we'll very carefully watch that. Of course, for now it has the wonderful effect that our fees go down, more members, relatively stable budget, so the fees go down. And it's the same fee for everybody, so that's lovely. We have for many years done regional meetings. Apart from the usual RIPE meetings, we've done regional RIPE NCC meetings. We have developed the communities, or the communities have developed themselves really in sort of the former Soviet Union area, in the Middle East as well. But we have now decided to, or last year decided to put some extra staffing into that. So we have 2 Arabic-speaking employees based in Dubai actually, and we have 2 colleagues now working from Moscow to look after the community there. And that has been met with quite some uproar and applause, so people are very happy with that. Apart from that, we continually try to improve our contact with regulators, with governments, with the local community in the regions. You know, we do 2 RIPE meetings a year. We have started with the regional meetings, ENOGs and MENOGs, but we still have pockets of our fairly large service area from where we don't see many members coming up to RIPE meetings. So we started, I think, 2 years ago to just go there to meet them. Smaller meetings, typically one-day meetings. We try to get some local content as well, but we do send a small delegation, and generally are met with quite some strong welcome there. So in 2014, we've gone, for instance, to Bulgaria, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and last week we were in Iran. Again, many people said, it's great that you're coming, you're bringing us together at the one table. We don't trust each other because we are in competition with each other, so a bit of a neutral ground is very welcome. So they like us going. And so we'll continue doing that. We have Serbia, Georgia, Armenia, and some more planned for next year already. IPv4, yes, we thought we would be running out, but hey, we get some stuff back from Elise, thank you very much. So we have more than the last /8, but the policy is such that all addresses that we will receive now will go into the last /8 pool. Every member got one, or can get one /22 out of that, and new members the same. What we do see is that, like I said, many new members are coming up. We also suspect that there are some who set up small companies and cash in on the last /22 in various companies, and then they merge and transfer those holdings to one company. That's something that is allowable by the policy. We do report on that, and that's fine. We still have lots left for the time being. Yep, and of course we have also seeing that we are slowly running out of V4. We have had policy discussions that we shouldn't be looking with the known scrutiny and looking very deep down in what our members are doing with the addresses. Just give us a last /22. That's what everybody can get. Just do it and get over with it. And no, it keeps things relatively smooth and simple. V6, yes, V6 is growing. We have quite a lot of members who have IPv6 holdings. Not everybody is doing something with those addresses yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. We have been doing quite a lot of IPv6 related courses, in training courses and webinars and road shows. 10 of those are planned for the next year. And since poor Natalie has been very busy over the last couple of years with setting up IPv6 in her home, well, we don't have a life, we do these kind of things at home. She has been very popular for reporting on that, and we decided to appoint her to the position of IPv6 program manager in-house, just to coordinate our efforts there in-house a little bit. And she's very enthusiastic and is carrying that enthusiasm out into the membership. Now, running out of IPv4 means that addresses become somewhat more valuable. And we do see many people trying to get their hands on IPv4 addresses where maybe they shouldn't really. We see fake registrations, fake passports, we see falsified public notary statements. It is quite amazing what people are doing. Instead of just get on with life and do IPv6, no, they have fun doing that type of thing. We have been told by our executive board, go after those people where you clearly see that there's some fraud going on, and we do that. So we go to the police and said, look at those people over there, they seem to be doing bad things, go after them, catch them. So that means that apart from not getting to the beach and having a nice relaxed lifestyle after IPv4, we do more things. We increase our audits. We used to do audits sort of fairly awkward occasionally for our members, but now we changed that around. Now, first of all, we need to stay in contact with our members regularly so that we know that the contact information in the database is up to date. How do we do this if they don't come to our doorstep every other month for new addresses? So we said, look, we want to help you with this. We call this assisted registry check. It's sort of a lightweight audit, but basically it's initiated by us. We show our members what information we have on them and make it a bit easier for them to update that information. It actually turned out to be rather popular with the members. Good thing. Certification, yes, it is slowly taking off. We have a couple of fairly big members who actually use this as a production service. It's a good thing. We are increasing functionality, we are improving the system, making it easy to use, and that is being seen and it's being used, so it's up and to the right, the graph. Very good. corporate governance. We used to have a 5-member executive board for ever since the RIPE NCC was set up as an organization. They have been very busy over the last couple of years in helping us with outreach and traveling and looking at the pockets of our membership. And they said, actually, we would like to share that workload a little bit more, so they've decided to increase the number of seats on the board to 7. And they do this in steps. So since May this year, we have 1 more seat. And actually, for the very first time since May, we have ladies on the executive board, and 2 even. It's very nice to see that. Also, they are very well aware of what we are doing in their various pockets from Sweden. Maria is from Sweden, Salam is from Lebanon. So that is great. We have been working on the activity plan budget for next year. It's basically finished. We've presented it to the members, and in a couple of weeks the board will, so at the end of the year, finally approve that. The good news is the budget remains stable, staffing levels remain stable, and activities also. We don't do any great new things. We basically consolidate what we have and make it better and shinier. We have had, in this hotel actually last January, had a joint meeting with the AFRINIC board, our board members. That was nice, and we are offering to do this again anytime when it's convenient to the AFRINIC board. Basically, we do this with other areas boards as well. It's good to have some cohesion and some better understanding of our problems within our service regions and how to tackle those things. We do regular surveys. The last one we did last year. We distilled from that quite a number of action items, key findings, and we do report on them regularly to our members and the community on what we are doing there. A couple of highlights here. Yes, we are doing most of our business in English, but we are slowly changing away from that. I do see Marco occasionally sending out mails in Arabic. I find that interesting. But it's much appreciated by members in those regions. And we try to broaden the number of languages that we actually use in day-to-day. Website improvements, always very popular. Bureaucracy decrease is important, and we've been told to try to do that while maintaining good quality registry. Academic community, we sort of lost them for a little while, but now I think we are back in good shape in communicating with them. We get nice presentations for RIPE meetings there. Tools, measurements, again, make it easier to find and make it easier to use. Regional, local community support, I talked about that already. Basically continue to defend and build on the bottom-up model of internet governance. Like I said at some point yesterday at the party, this is what we do. It's work for us. We sacrifice ourselves on the altar of bottom-up industry self-regulation. It's a good thing to be doing, not only at the parties. So that's basically the highlights on our focus there. We have a couple of interesting policies being discussed, or discussions being wrapped up there. Provider independent space we should be able to transfer that. IPv6 requirements for receiving the last /22, we've been told relax a little bit on that. Some of our members already have IPv6 space. Just take that into account. And of course, one of the biggies is to set up a policy to enable inter-area transfer of addresses. But that's rather complicated. There are different regions with different requirements. So basically, we try to, our community tries to take that into account in coming up with a text for that policy. Also, is to get the legacy resource holders back into the RIPE NCC community. Those people, many of them have received address space in the very early days, And they sort of know that Royal NCC is around, but they don't interact with us regularly, some of them. Of course, others are already members, so we've set up this policy with the community, and now we are implementing it. How to enable those people to get all of the rest of our services. There's a number of things. You can become a member, or you can sort of register your resources under an existing pre-existing RIPE NCC member. You can have a contract without being a member, or you just stay where you are and don't talk to us if you really want to do that. We talked about yesterday the IANA stewardship transition. Of course, we have been very busy, and you heard what Paul Rendeck said about this already, so I won't go into much detail there. This is a very good opportunity for us. We need to work on this. I'm fairly confident that the RARs are in good shape here and can deliver by the 15th of January, although that is really soon. Outreach beyond just our members and our community. Of course, the IGF, the Internet Governance Forum, is the main focus for that, but we do regularly contribute and attend the regional events there, the regional sort of sub-IGFs, the Arab IGF, the Russian IGF, the Eurodig for Europe. We are very pleased with the way the ITU plenipotentiary went in Busan a couple of weeks ago. There was good outcome for the RIR, so we put quite a lot of effort into that. We do government roundtable meetings 2 times a year generally. We do work with law enforcement. They used to come to us with interesting ideas and basically said, look, lots of our information is actually public, and you can dig around in that yourself. So in the end, we set up a bit of a training course for them, and so we talk to quite a lot of them regularly, and in enabling them to use the information sources that we do have. Next meeting's coming up, MANOC in Dubai in April. Of course, it's not too far away from here. You're very welcome to come. And if you're in for a little bit cooler weather, you're also welcome. May in Amsterdam with a little bit of luck is really, really nice. Could also be terrible weather, we don't know. But it's a nice place, come visit us. We haven't been in Amsterdam in a couple of years with RIPE meetings. Of course, you're more than welcome. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Axel. Raphael, a question? Just state your name and your organization.
Yes, Raphael. Just have a question about the legacy order for the big blocks. I made consulting for a company about 6 months ago, and did purchase about 5 companies. It's 5 years, and some of them have legacy blocks, and they were not using them at all. So is there a plan that you go and dig about all the blocks that are not announced, not on DFZ, and you talk to them and they don't use it? They send back. So this guy was a big bank. They say, it's part of our asset. We will not use it. We don't want to send it back, but we will not use it. So is this kind of, it was a /15.
Yes. We have over the last couple of years been rather active in digging and finding those people who have address holdings that apparently they are maybe not using on the public internet. We have received some address space back. That was a bit of a positive surprise. Others said, no, we are using the space but internally, and that's according to the policies that's okay. I have recently talked to staff members of a fairly large, for a fairly large government in our service region who have /8 left from the old times, and they're using some of that. And I'm saying, give it back. You will be seen as the heroes of the internet. That's what you should be doing for the good of all of us. And they say, yeah, we should. But also, our bosses tell us they want to be re-elected. And when we have a crisis, financial crisis, and maybe we want to sell off that space. As you said, it's seen as assets increasingly, and it's hard to argue with that. Yes, of course, we understand that. Still, you should be giving it back. It would be really good, but we can't force anyone.